I'd like to welcome everybody to the Griggs County Township Officers Association. We've got a couple guests from North Dakota Township Officers Association. Tim, is it Geinhardt? Gator, and Larry Severson. With that, I'll have Jeff give the secretary's report.
Yeah, the last meeting was in 2019, and the Griggs County Township Officers Association spring meeting was called to order by President Tom Dahl on Friday, March 29, 2019. 35 members and guests attended. The treasurer report, secretary report, and memo from the Griggs County Water Resource District were made available. Motion was made for Randy Ressler to accept the secretary's report as distributed, seconded by Tom Bailey. Motion approved. Motion made by Wade Kluben to accept the treasurer's report, seconded by Norman Tafelmeyer. Motion approved. Gene Logie's term as treasurer is complete. As there were no nominations for the position, Gene offered to continue for an additional term. Mark Ernest made a motion to nominate Logie, second by Arnie Berg, and motion approved. Tax Director's update provided by David Lundy. Lundy is in his second year as Tax Director. Regarding agricultural land values, the state is increasing its estimate for the county. It is likely that the county will have to increase the current values by 3 to 4% at its equalization meeting in June, but no action is needed by the townships at their equalization. The sales ratio came in under the required threshold. As most sales are in the city of Cooperstown, there should be little effect at the township level if the city equalizes its values in April. Lundy's appointment is 60%. He generally is in the office every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Lundy does the assessing in 7 townships, with other assessors helping in other townships, same as last year. 2018, Lundy assessed Washburn, Severud, Ball Hill, Dover, Mayville, Rosendahl, and Willow. Farrah Saxburg assessed in Pilot Mound, Tyrol, Clearfield, and Helena. Tasha Kruger assessed in Cooperstown, Addy, Kingsley, and Bryan. Marlon Haugen assessed in Broadview, Glenfield, and Bartley. And Jamie Curie assessed in Romness and Lenora. Griggs County Highway Department update was provided by Wayne Owen, County Road Superintendent. In the past, the county has helped the townships during disasters by administering the federal public assistance program, grant funding, and processing the related paperwork for the county and townships. Based on state law, the state would like each township to sign a formal agreement that authorizes the county to act in that capacity. Owen had the agreements available for a representative of each township to sign. Regarding past snow disasters, the state would not pay unless the snow depths are greater than what the normal snow depths on average in your area. In regular disasters, the state will not pay for frost heaves or soft spots. They may pay for gravel loss, salvage, and relaying of culverts. Road limits will go in effect this coming Monday, April the 1st. 2 road projects will begin this summer. There will be federal assistance to chip seal the Sutton Road, and bids have been received. They will re-gravel County Road 26 from the pavement by Hannaford going west to County Road 3. An additive will be used to help strengthen up the base of that road to help with gravel retention. They will be using the oil revenue money, which should be the last of the House bill monies. If bids are low enough, they may have money to gravel further east on County Road 26. At this time, county is not expecting future House bill monies until 2021, when the prairie dog bill may become effective. If the state takes in extra oil money, that will increase monies to the county in the future. The culvert humps on Highway 2 paved by Pickerel Creek were discussed. Wayne stated that replacing culverts in the past were not necessarily effective. It was discussed putting gravel on either side of the hump. In the past, when it was dipped down, it had been filled in. There are reflectors and orange diamonds in that area warning of the road conditions and to slow speed. Griggs County Commissioner update was provided by Commissioner Troy Olson regarding social services. We have been sharing with Nelson County. We are in the process of forming a district social services since the state took over the funding of that program. We are no longer levying that 20 mills. In exchange, the state took away the 12.56% real estate tax relief. The cost of social service was less than that relief, so we ended up with a small increase because of that. As Tax Director Lundy stated, the state is still dictating that we raise the maximum valuation of the county again this year. We currently do not have a county agent. Our county agent had also functioned as our weed officer. The state mandates that the county have a weed officer. There has been discussion of just having a 4-H coordinator versus a county agent. We did not give NDSU an answer to what we wanted to do at this time. Other counties have been asked if they would like to consider services. NDSU Extension requires that a 4-H coordinator be hired by NDSU Extension. In the meantime, we will have to find someone to be the weed officer. The weed officer handles complaints from neighbors, questions regarding noxious weeds, and administers the cost share program of the state. Chemical applicators may have to go to a neighboring county for licensing. In the past, we provided the county agent with the office space, the assistant, and half the salary, while NDSU paid half the salary and all the benefits. But NDSU changed the formula, and the county now pays a percentage of both salary and benefits. NDSU sets the salary and the benefit level. There are currently 21 extension agent vacancies in the state. Regarding the highway department, the county is in the process of purchasing a vacant lot in Binford to put up a cold storage building. The sheriff department update provided by Sheriff Wes Strait was our new deputy, Damon Brook, started in October 2018. He previously worked at the jail in Devil's Lake. Amber Michaelis is still our chief deputy. Since January 2019, we have had 254 calls for service, ranging from traffic stops to medical paper service. Drugs are a big topic again this year. We've been receiving many calls and tips related to drugs. In January, we participated in serving a search warrant in Jamestown across from the school. There were 30 items taken from the apartment. They were manufacturing butane hash oil within 300 feet of the school, which is a felony. This resulted in 2 suspects being jailed and having 14 charges against them. The tips for drugs are happening everywhere. With drugs comes crime. Last year, abandoned farmsteads to the southeast were burglarized. The individuals were caught when they were interviewed. They were pawning stolen items to purchase methamphetamine. We have had 17 criminal cases in the first 3 months of this year so far. Last year it took until May before we were at 17 criminal cases. As the Griggs County Police Department believes in the 5th Amendment, we do not take people to jail pre-trial unless there is an arrest for public safety or if a judge tells us to arrest a bench warrant. This year there has been 1 incident of cattle rustling. Believe this involved 9 head of cattle. The department is focusing on community policing, which involves working with the public to help detect and deter crime. The programs include Coffee with a Cop, where we ask a local business if we can host a community gathering at their business to meet with citizens to discuss what is going on in our county. At the Binford School, we initiated a Handle with Care notification when we are aware a child may be dealing with difficult situations. We advise them that a child had a rough night and ask that they handle them with care. We are also working closely with the school in Cooperstown to share any concerns. We will be starting a new tip line. It will be completely anonymous. When this program is available, we will have notifications in the paper, post flyers in the county, and post on our Facebook and website page. During some fairs this year, we will have bike patrol to allow more interaction with the community. We currently have 3 employees. The national average for cities with a population of less than 10,000 averages 3.5 officers per 1,000 people. In similar sized North Dakota counties, the county closest to our level of staff was Logan County, which has 1 officer for every 483 citizens. Logan County has a population of 19,032 citizens. In comparison, we are understaffed as we have 1 officer for every 750 people. As such, the Sheriff Department would like to have no cuts in their staffing and appreciate the community support to detect and report crimes. We have looked into updating equipment. The local VW dealership can provide government pricing on a new Durango. North Dakota Township Officers Association District 3 Director and North Dakota Township Officers State Convention report was provided by Al Beckeris. The Prairie Dog Bill is expected to provide every township and political subdivision $10,000 in the last half of the next biennium. However, there will be another legislative session before that time, so we cannot yet count on that money. Regarding snow removal, only the Highway Department and those township officers who are covered under the North Dakota Insurance Reserve Fund can help clear snow on a township road and be protected from liability. Anyone else who volunteers or whom you hire to clear roads will not be protected from liability. Also, you cannot dump water in the township waterway. Regarding farmstead exemptions, the legislature voted for changes to the income limitations, and that may take effect later this year. Believe it used to be that you could have $40,000 of non-farm income and still qualify for the exemption. It is expected to now require that 66% of your income come from farm sources. The North Dakota Township Officers Association website has hot subject links, also a Facebook page that you can use as a resource. There is a 2018 new township handbook that Al has available if you would like one. There are currently 66 oil well rigs working in North Dakota. Also, you should have received a mailing from the Upper Great Plains Transportation asking how much the townships have been spending. It is important that this information be completed and returned. It will be considered when funding is divided out. Al encourages township officers to attend the State Township Officers Association meeting held in Bismarck annually, the first weekend in December, which is paid for by your township. Feel free to contact Al if you should have any questions. Please call Al if you are going to send him an email. Meeting adjourned. If you would, make sure to announce your name and anytime we have motions and that kind of stuff, please.
Thanks, Jeff. With that, any additions or corrections to the secretary's report? It's been 3 years ago. With that, I'd entertain a motion that we accept the secretary's report.
I'll make a motion to accept it.
Scott.
Scott Sanford.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Norm Kappelmeyer.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Discussion? No further discussion. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. With that, I'll let you give the treasurer's report.
All right, since Jean has retired from the treasurer, there is no treasurer at this point in time, so the extension office has been keeping track of things for you guys. And the first page is the balance for 2021 was $1,615. You can see the income from dues in 2021. And then the expenses, and we had a total of $3,220.41 on January 1st, 2022. And the next figure below that is what we currently have with the dues that have come in for 2022. So right now we have $5,652.41 in the checking account. And just want to remind you that there's Mabel and Willow Townships that owe for 2021 dues, and Rossendale, Mabel, Ball Hill, Broadview, and Lenora still owe for 2022. So I included the reports, the treasurer's reports from 2020 and 2019 also, if you wanted to see those.
With that, any questions? If not, I guess I'd entertain a motion that we accept the treasurer's report.
I'll make a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
And Kaffenmeyer seconds that motion. Any discussion on the treasury report? Any discussion? With no further discussion, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. More opposed, same sign. Motion carries. With that, Wayne, I guess you're up with the county road update.
Where did you want me?
Right up front. We can probably hear you.
Well, first of all, I can't believe I gave that good a report last time. I think Sam must have written some stuff in. But anyway, I guess we all had kind of a rough winter, per se. Wasn't a lot of snow, but a lot of wind. And we came through it pretty well. Now with the perfect thaw that we have, the county has only had one culvert that settled in and caved in around it. But well, this year also we have 21.7 miles of chip seal with a fog coat to be done later this summer. County Road 26 from a mile west of Hannaford east to County Road 19, that's the airport road. We chipped County Road 8 from Highway 1 west to the county line past Binford will be minus the grade raises that are still gravel. That'll be chip sealed with a fog coat over that also. And then County Road 2, from Highway 1, 2.5 miles west through Red Willow Lake Resort will be chip sealed, and also number 2, from Highway 32 west 6 miles to the end of the pavement there. That'll all be chip sealed this summer. We'll be graveling. I don't have any particular roads except I think County Road 10, I know we'll be graveling that. And some on 22. Different spots around the county trying to spread out, you know, so we don't do everything in one area. We've got some gravel piles put up around. I think the gravel price is probably going to go up from the contractors this year because of fuel costs and stuff. We have some culverts that are going to go in County Road 19 that were late last fall. We were scheduled to do them, but we didn't get time to do it before winter, so they will be done this summer. And there's also one on County Road 2 west of Steve Oslickson's that is, part of it is dropped off. Sorry, it's too loud. Part of it is dropped off and I see it's rusting out on the inside, so I thought we were just going to be able to put an extension back on it, but it looks like it might have to be replaced. I guess I'd like to stress to the townships to blade as often as your budget will allow, because the more often that you blade the road, the better road you're going to have by the end of the year. If you can keep the vegetation growing on the shoulders, you're not going to end up with big windrows along the edge, which makes it hazardous for all of you farmers and everybody else. Still have the same crew, a bunch of good workers, and of course we'll be trying to do everything we can. Depends upon these summers. Hopefully it doesn't rain too often, but enough so you guys get good crops. So load limits did go on last week, just a little bit earlier than last year, but we thought it was warranted because roads are starting to get soft along the edges, and then the state highway put their signs up the next Monday. So prairie dog bill, I don't know if anybody else has got any information on that. But of course we all know that the oil drilling slowed way down, and they're still producing oil, they're still selling oil, they're still collecting tax. The barrels are filling, but it's still ways before the county and the townships get their second. Counties first and the second for the townships. But it looks like it's better than what it was anticipated earlier this year, so I think that's all that I've got. Unless you've got questions, any questions or anything that
You want to talk, Wayne, a little bit about the services that you offer to the townships, other than blading? You have the reclaimer.
Yep, we have a reclaimer. We're going to go over all our county system roads first with that lease tractor and the reclaimer. If you have gravel along the edge, it's great, but if it's dirt, then you're gonna contaminate your gravel that you have. So you have to be careful with that. We have that.
What kind of a charge is associated with the reclaimer?
Reclaimer is $100 an hour with the tractor and yes, reclaimer. You know, you can go over quite a few miles of road in an hour. You know, so that's available if you want to. You can just call in or whatever, and we'll put you on the list.
Is the county going to offer any spraying since right of way is no longer as existent?
We do not have the staff in order to spray, I guess, you know. If you want to have me hire some more people, that'd be great. But otherwise, with the amount of people we have, we can't take on any extra work, just like the sheriff's department. So, anything else? Appreciate some townships that are willing to take a truck in the wintertime to plow the snow off when we're unable to get there with the blade right away. And we have one truck that has a wing on it, so that really helps. And we have two trucks with underbody blades, so you can adjust the blade and keep it up off gravel, trying to limit the amount of gravel that you scrape off. So.
For as long as the winter has been and as windy as it's been, you guys have done a great job of keeping the roads open, so thank you on that part.
Thanks, Scott.
Thank you, Wayne. With that, the Griggs County Commission update.
Good afternoon. Most of you know who I am, and I know who most of you are. So with that, from the last minutes, there was a vehicle for the sheriff's office bought and equipped, and we are looking at a second one. It's been ordered, and that will also be equipped to what she would like to have. And this year on the ballot, there will be two what do they call, two things for you to vote on. One of them we're looking at is maybe possibly combining the treasurer and the auditor. I believe our township had done that. Our treasurer and auditor had been combined. If that was to happen, we'd be one of 15 counties that are already combined. If that was to happen, it'll be up to the voters of the people to decide. And the other thing, we're also going to ask for the extension of the 10 mills for the road department. If the people wish to continue that, that will also be continued. You know, I'm up for election and I'm not running again. I encourage people to take this opportunity and fill these positions. But we're pretty lucky here to have a good workforce with our road department and with our sheriff's department, and they do a good job for all of us and the gals that work here in the courthouse. So with that, Scott's got a little bit to update you with the social services.
Mark,
Yeah.
I talked to Wayne already about the situation of the bridge that was closed east of me,
Yep.
and was wondering is there any national funds, any money to build me a new bridge?
Well, in the past, what they've done is every 7 miles, if there was a bridge, they didn't replace the one in between. And with the Wiseman Bridge to the north, that would be within the 7 miles, is what they've done. There's been many bridges that have been closed along the way. The one by Wayne, they closed many years ago, you know, and those sorts of things. But, you know, a bridge is about 1.5 million.
1.3 is figure, 1.2, 1.3.
And,
Replace that one.
you know, we just gotta feel that there's other places that we can spend money in the county to better. And usually it's an 80-20 split, I believe, on those things. So you can figure out how much it'll cost every one of us to keep a bridge there. As much as I'd love to see it go in, it'd be nice a way to, if we could at least make it so a pickup could go through there, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
It's a basically no plans then to build a bridge.
I wouldn't count on it. I wouldn't count on it.
I'm curious what's the reasoning for trying to combine the treasurer and the auditor office?
Strictly to save money.
Why wouldn't you avoid maybe the deputies versus the elected official?
If the vote was to go down, that would probably be what would happen. My
I
guess.
was just wondering why you go to a vote to eliminate a position when there's other positions that you have authority to do that.
Well, there's, like we say, there's 14 counties that have already done that. 17. The number is increasing.
Well, just, that's what Jamie said last time.
So, I thought you said 14. But anyway, here's Scott with Social Services. Oh, yeah, Wayne?
When we're talking about bridges, has there been any plans to get that one off and get it out of there down by my place?
You know, we've tried to sell bridges to anybody that would listen.
Yeah.
We even sold them for $1 to get them, so they could have them out of there. And supposedly the last guy was supposed to come in with a crane and lift them out. He had a place to get rid of them. But other than
If it
that,
goes in the drink, it's gonna cause a lot of problems.
yeah, it'll do a lot of block. You bet.
So Yulin Dam, same thing, Yulin Dam.
Yeah, Yulin Dam's got the same thing. You know, by the Yulin Dam, we'd have to lift, you know, there was 2 or 3 of them, I thought, that we had a guy come in and we had, you know, you're selling county property, so you have to put it out on bids. So,
Hi, guys. Everybody knows who I am, I think. Anyway, couple updates since the last one, when Troy was commissioner on the social service end of it. What it did is the state took it over, a lot of the money-wise on it. So basically, they formed a new zone, and we're the Griggs, Nelson County zone. And how it's kind of broke down is that 52% is the cost, I would say, is out of Nelson County and 48% out of Griggs. That's basically based on the size of the county. That's what we do with that. So anyway, so what they did, like the salaries and all that kind of stuff, the state took almost all that 100% over was the salaries and stuff like that. So the only thing we're required to, on the local level, is the indirect costs, which are like office space, paper, you know, that kind of stuff, office supplies. That's where we're applying our share of the cost on that one. So on that one, we had a director for about 2 years, and then she resigned, and it was Mary Langley. And now we just hired a new one. She'll take over May 1st. Wait, sounds up in, she's from the Lakota area. And she'll be running the show from then on for us on that end of it, so. And then another thing that they did too is on the zone board, there's basically between us and Griggs County. So we have 2 directors from Nelson, 2 from Griggs. And what the state did, before we had like commissioners on, so basically we had 4 commissioners on it, you know, 2 from Nelson, 2 from Griggs. And the state changed a ruling on it now that you only have 1 commissioner from each county on the board, at least for us. So and then the other position is a at-large position. So I continued serving on this one and Steph went off. And then we appointed Mark Lundy to take Steph's place for the commissioner, I say commissioner, but the board person at large for this end of it. So that's everything to do with that too. So other than that, that's about it on at least on the easy zone, I guess they call it. So any questions, I guess, for that, guys?
Next. I'd like to add something.
Thanks. Good afternoon. I am Stephanie Edlund. I'm one of the commissioners also. Just to let you guys know, we recently received a letter from a citizen regarding assessors and how counties are not getting their assessments done after sales or changes or And I understand that we're short assessors. Is that the concern with you guys? That we're looking for assessors? Red Willow in Rosendahl is the biggest township that has a drastic changes in assessors since they have changed hands over with the land and everything. Let me know what we can do as a commissioners to help you guys, or what we can do. It does affect the sales ratio when we do work on that every year. So if numbers are drastically off, it does not help. So that's my only concern.
If you could hire a tax director, it would
Oh.
be helpful.
We've been looking for a tax director. It's been advertised. I am not sure why we can't find one. So if Barrow would just be the assessor for every township, I think we would just be in great hands there, because believe you me, I know the city's been assessed properly, so thanks, Sarah.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I just got reassessed, so.
Keep building.
All right, any questions on that? Okay.
Thank you, Mark, Scott, and Steph, for the update. With that, we move on to the Sheriff's Department. Amarillo.
Thank you. Well, it's no secret that our drug activity is up. It's up a lot, greatly. It's always been a problem. It's more of a problem now. We're down to bare bones, which is not a secret. So what I ask from you guys is to use your eyes for us. If you see a weird or suspicious vehicle driving around, don't be afraid to call it in. It doesn't matter, maybe it's your neighbor's grandson you didn't know that's in the area, that's fine. But we need to know about who's in our county. With scrap prices being so high, copper, everything, that stuff is just going off these vacant farms. So if you could talk to your people about trail cams, we have some trail cams out there. All we need is a license plate to get started, so that's very helpful. But the more eyes we have, the better. Because we can't, it's a pretty large county for 3 of us, so we're trying. As far as the non-emergency calls, please bear with us. We're trying our best. We are short. Probably won't get any better, so we are trying our hardest, but just please have patience with us. Any questions for me?
How far is the vehicle out?
I don't know. They don't know. No idea. Thank you.
Thank you, Amberly. With that, the North Dakota Township Officers update. Kim, or you've drawn straws?
Good afternoon. We have updates to the handbook provided here. If you didn't grab one on your way in, please make sure you get one before you leave, or however many you need for your township. And the next to the last page inside there is a sheet with all the changes that are in this book since the last edition. And the 2022 edition was introduced during our workshop tour in February. And one of those sessions was recorded, and we have it available on our website. Just go to ndtoa.com, and the button over on the lower left side will get you to our video page. And the Jamestown workshop will be available there. And we also have a presentation on forms, budgets, and levies by Linda Spihovic. And this is the beginning of a program we hope to add to, of providing education for our clerks. We have a lot of new clerks in the townships across the state, and they're looking for help as to how to handle all those forms. So take a look at that on the website. And you may have noticed some added money in your township accounts over this last year. House Bill 1015, Section 4, in August of 2021, provided $6,127 in a lump and $214 per mile that you have on your maintained list. And then House Bill 1505, Section 7 of that bill, provided $5,200 in a lump and $181 per mile. So we've gotten some pretty good extra money out of our efforts in the legislature. And as was mentioned earlier, we had the Operation Prairie Dog, which came from the 2019 session. And with the price of a barrel of oil at over $110, that fund is filling up pretty fast. So it's very likely it will actually fill up and work this time. And that would result in about $9,400 probably in July of 2023. Now we also have another part of House Bill 1015, Section 13 of that bill. This provides grants administered by the North Dakota Department of Transportation. And the grant website is scheduled to be up for test actually yesterday and operational by next Monday. And what this will do is provide grants for road work, but it has to be roads of greater importance, not just a road to somebody's field. It's going to be something that's going to be a truck route or a connecting route to major roadways. And it's going to be pretty much an online application. So we have been trying to get email addresses for as many townships as possible so that we can get the notice out to them in a speedy fashion. And almost instantly when this website is up and running, we're going to put it out to the townships that it's available, and they can take a look at the application that will be on there and start getting their information together because there's a deadline of May 31st for the application, so it's only a 60-day window to apply. And if we don't have an email for you, you'll have to wait for the printed information to come out. That could take 2 weeks. And that's a big loss out of the 60-day window. So emails are very important going forward. The problem is they only have one person at Upper Great Plains Transportation Institute that will be sorting out these applications. And it'll be a hard job for him to get through all these applications from 1,360 townships within 60 days. This money has to be awarded and used by the end of the biennium, which is mid-2023. So applications have to be in and all the approvals done, and it involves federal money, so there's a lot of requirements. But it's a chance to get some serious work done where it's needed. It can be graveling projects, provided they're laying down at least 3 inches of gravel. It can be cleaning up your right-of-ways, removing trees, and things like that. So there's quite a few different things. You'll have to take a look at it when the website is up and running. Any questions on that? And on the national level, we're a member of NATAT, the National Association of Towns and Townships. And right now they are in discussions with the White House, trying to get the policy changed to allow federal money to be used on minor structures, bridges less than 20 feet. That could also include box culverts and the likes. So I think that's about all I have. This year the convention will be December 12th and 13th at the Baymont in Mandan. And that's your meeting. I'll encourage you all to So at least send somebody from your township. Do you have anything to add, Kim?
I do not.
Okay. Okay, we've got a little handout here on the grant program.
This is a list of projects that are potential, if you just share these around, potential projects that would be looked upon favorably by the DOT. I have some more of these available. I think with these projects, they're going to look real favorably on projects that involve more than one township. If you can make that work.
That's true. It's not required. There will be plenty of opportunities for single township projects too, but if they do involve more than one township, why, they're probably going to be more favorably taken. Okay. No other questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Larry. With that, I guess I have a couple things that to bring to your attention. One would be the Red River water supply. The townships that have the Garrison diversion going through them, that's going to be pretty rough. They're removing about 350 semi-loads per half mile. The roads, township and county roads, are going to take a beating. So those of you that haven't signed an easement, the eminent domain process has been started. Taking you to eminent domain limits their easement rights. So in the future, the people that haven't signed yet will probably limit this to a one pipeline easement. Because they're taking a 150-foot easement for a pipeline.
You're talking about the one down into Sutter Township, right?
Yeah.
That one there, and you go through Carrington and then over to Washburn, right? Okay.
But it's just completely destroyed. They did 2 miles over by Carrington, and it's just completely destroyed everything. So it's something that that the townships and county roads will have to be aware of. And if the roads are in good shape when they come, they have to leave them in good shape. And if they're crap when they come, they'll probably leave them crap. So it's up to the, I take too many calls on, maybe it's a maintenance thing, graveling thing. There's townships that are sitting with quite a bit of money, and that really isn't the intent for a township to be sitting on a big pile of money and then crap for roads. So I think, some of these, in the townships, I've got a list, I'm not gonna share it, but you guys know who you are. You're sitting on a bunch of money and you don't do what you're supposed to do on the roads. So I'm kind of sick of the phone calls. People need to take care of their business. Blading roads, people think they're saving money by not blading roads. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It's like you would not change oil on a tractor and it's maintenance. But, we can get by this time without blading. We can save some money. But in the end, it just, like Wayne said, it makes a mess. The weeds grow in and you got big windrows, and so. The other thing doesn't involve everybody, but Kurt Tompkins had called Tweeds and they want to close the ditch that's going out of the outlet for Jesse Lake. So I don't know what we need to do. The landowners that are involved there, the townships, need to get together and try not to let that happen. Because it's had to made a huge impact on the area having that outlet in there. I think Leroy, you would probably know more than
Oh yeah, it's saved a lot of cost on the roads it has. But it's on a, you know, an easement through the game and fish, and I don't think, I don't know who brought it up, was it Kurt Tompkins?
Yeah.
Who brought it up? And they're definitely planning on wanting it closed.
They're entertaining the conversation of doing it. I think there's some options, maybe moving the wetland, you know, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife easements.
That would have to be up to the landowner.
That's
to do
correct. That's
yeah.
correct. And with that, election of a treasurer. Got any names, Jeff? Is anybody interested in being the treasurer for the Griggs County Township officers? I'd accept any nominations if somebody's got somebody in mind, or when Jean retired, I was trying to get Lori stuck, because she took over Jean's position, but Jeff had talked to Lori and that was a no. So
I think you have to leave it up to the chairman to appoint somebody to fill that spot.
a nominating committee? Did you volunteer for it? You know, I've talked to a few different people and I get the same, this isn't a very hard job. You know, doesn't require a lot of time, so. I guess I can get a list of the secretary treasurers from all the townships and see if I can find someone that would like to do it. What do you think about that, Jeff? Okay. With that, I guess I'd entertain a motion to pay the North Dakota Township Officers Association dues of $2,500.
I'll make the motion.
Do we have a second?
I'll
Scott?
Eddie Big.
Eddie Big? Got a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? No further discussion. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
I have a quick question for you, Tom. I see that our township hasn't paid our dues. What are the dues now per year for each township?
Is it 40 or 50?
The township dues are $152. $152 is the dues for the town.
Per year?
Per year.
So we owe $304. See, we got a new secretary treasurer, and she didn't know about it, I'm sure. And then nobody sent her a bill, what she wouldn't know. And we weren't aware that it wasn't paid either, so. And that should be made out to the Griggs County Township Association.
Correct.
Griggs County Township Officers.
Officers Association, yeah. Yeah, it'd be nice if, yeah, we've got Mabel Willow from 21, and I'm sure that's what took place, you know, learning curve. Rosendahl, Mabel, Ball Hill, Broadview, and Lenora from 22. And I'd also entertain a motion to pay for the ad in the paper. The bill is $155.82.
Also move.
Tom made a motion. Pay the bill. Do we have a second? Scott Cranby. Do we have a motion and a second to pay for the ad? All in favor signify by aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Any questions? Does the river water supply, would it be Mabel, Helena, Ball Hill, and Speardrift? Is that the order? Kind of follows County Road 22.
Yeah, it's on the south side of 22, except it goes through ours, and then that's where it crosses. It gets onto the, in Helena, crosses from Maple over to the south side of 22. It's just on the west edge of Helena Township where it crosses.
You know what they're supposed to get done this year?
It's a process. I mean, it's.
I heard it's a 10-year process, 10 years, right? A 10-year construction project, I heard.
$122 billion.
Yeah, it's huge.
That's a couple nickels.
And they are acquiring easement for about $4 million. You know, it's kind of like you can have all the machinery in the world to farm with. If you don't have the land, you can't farm. And here, you can do whatever you want, but if you don't have the land, you don't have a water project. So I think the 350 loads that are being removed are the pipe. If you took a 72-inch diameter pipe and they're encompassing it with gravel below and gravel alongside, so there will be loads coming back in.
Where is it going with all the dirt?
Any place they can find it, it's sounded.
That's a lot of material. So any other questions? Mark?
Tom, I got a little bit. Scott and I and Tom are on the museum board also. And Scott and I have gone around and taken some pictures of some barns and those sorts of things that are disappearing quite quickly in our communities. If you have a unique building or something like that, an oval barn in your area, please contact Scott or I so we can get a picture of it before it gets bulldozed down or removed. So, thank you.
Thanks, Mark. So Scott, McCardles are gonna take down the fairing structure. It's a elevator type,
Where's that at?
a mile south of my place.
Oh, that one. Yeah, I know you're at. Okay.
It's just, it's a different, it's unique.
I know
but
it's at.
yeah.
Okay.
It's a granary,
Yeah.
but it's a,
Yep.
Okay, yeah. When do you do that, Tom?
that's coming up shortly.
Okay. All right.
I think Mike is gonna take the trees out over here north of town, and then he's gonna move over into that farmyard and clean that up. Okay, thanks, Scott and Mark. Anything else? If there's nothing else, we will adjourn. Thank you all for coming.
You don't need one.
You want one?
I'll motion adjourned.
Scott made the motion to adjourn. Do we have a second? Scott will second it. All in favor, signify by aye. Aye. Motion carries. Meeting adjourned. Thank you guys for coming.